We are in Cedarsburg, Wisconsin, on a little journey today, and walking past around dinner time, we have this place called New Fortune Asian Cuisine. And look at this, it's voted #1 best Chinese restaurant in the greater Milwaukee area. Now, being sort of Chinesey myself, you know we have to go check this out now. So we got the egg drop soup and the egg roll, pork egg roll, complimentary of the a la carte dinner here. How does the egg roll taste? Let's find out. Better than most. Better than most. A lot of cabbage, but some sweet fragrance in it. A small amount of pork, and it's crunchy. I like egg rolls, Chinese egg rolls that are crunchy, so this passes the test. It's pretty good. Not the best I've had, but definitely better than most. Oh, very hot on the inside. Could definitely use a little more pork though. Mostly just cabbage, but it has a sweet aroma. And it tastes better than most pork egg rolls I've tasted because it has a solid crunch. Oh. Oh. It's not spicy, just very hot on the inside because it hasn't had time to cool down yet, and I like that about the egg roll. Now, as for the soup, how does the egg drop taste? Just like regular egg drop soup, it's a little better than that stuff you get at the buffet stores. More fresh, and just a more solid tasting egg drop. Passes the test. All right, I ordered the twice cooked pork. This is a dish I always get at Chinese restaurants to see how good the restaurant is. Now, looking at the twice cooked pork, I can tell it's not the more traditional variety because the more traditional variety is very thin slices of pork, very thin slices of fairly fatty pork, and this is generally lean pork with a couple of mushrooms and stuff, which usually the more traditional variety of twice cooked pork does not have. This actually looks a little bit more like what I would make if I was cooking twice cooked pork because I can't slice fatty pork very thinly very well. However, I do like the traditional make more, but however, I will have to congratulate them on having mushrooms, large mushrooms in this dish, because I really like the large mushrooms. So how does this taste? Let's find out, shall we? It tastes fairly good. However, without the fatty pork, the twice cooked pork, it is missing a little bit right now. The lean stuff might be healthier. The lean stuff might be healthier, but it does not taste as good as the fatty pork. It has a little bit of that BBQ flavor, honestly. And that's not really what I want out of twice cooked pork. Twice cooked pork, it's a fairly spicy pork with kind of like a lot of fat on the outside, and that's what makes it so delicious.
How's everything tasting so far?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Talk to the waiter. But the vegetables are actually pretty good. And the sauce is pretty good. So Of the restaurants that actually cook it this way, this is one of the better ones. But I do like the traditional preparation of the twice cooked pork a little more. There are these mushrooms though, which usually don't come with twice cooked pork, and I actually like these a lot. That was quite good. So some points for that. But without the fatty part of the twice cooked pork, it's not quite as good as like some of the Sichuan restaurants I've had, because it's prepared very differently from the traditional way of preparing twice cooked pork. So not bad, but I prefer the traditional way. So I just finished. That dish was actually pretty good, but I can only really give the restaurant maybe like a B for that dish, because I favor the Chinese way of actually cooking that dish, the traditional Chinese way. I have to say the fatty pork actually makes that dish. So without the fatty pork, even though they cooked it quite tastily, the sauce is great, the vegetables were good, without the fatty pork, the dish doesn't taste like twice cooked pork. However, the strawberry bubble tea was very good, and of the restaurants that actually cooked the twice cooked pork that way, they were probably the best one. But however, I really like the Asian way, the actual traditional Chinese way of cooking twice cooked pork. So I would give it an 84 or a B for that dish. I'll probably return to this restaurant for chicken because their other dishes actually look pretty good. And if they cook those more the traditional way, I think I really would like this restaurant a little bit more. I think their both their egg roll and their egg drop soup were pretty solid. Sorry, the motorcycle in the background. The egg drop soup and the pork egg roll were pretty solid. The main dish, like I said, it was pretty good. Really, like, the cooking of it was great. It's just that they used the lean pork instead of the fatty pork, and twice cooked pork requires that thin fatty pork to really bring the dish out. So that is my review. Definitely a decent Asian restaurant, and check it out. It's in Cedarsburg.